Welcome. This is a reflection on the explanatory poverty of philosophical naturalism. In much of contemporary Western thought, philosophical naturalism presents itself as the simplest and most rigorous account of reality. It claims that the space-time universe, accessible only through the physical sciences, is all that exists. Its appeal rests heavily on Occam's razor. By positing no supernatural entities, naturalism appears leaner and more economical than theism. God, in this view, is treated as an unnecessary metaphysical surplus. Yet numerical simplicity is not the same as explanatory adequacy. A worldview that achieves minimalism by setting aside foundational features of human experience and cosmic reality ultimately reveals a deep poverty of explanation. Naturalism rests on three interlocking commitments. First, naturalized epistemology. Knowledge is reduced to the products of evolutionary history. Cognitive faculties are valued only for their survival utility, not for their ability to track objective truth. Second, mechanistic causality. Every event, from the expansion of the cosmos to the firing of a synapse, must be explained solely by unbroken physical cause and effect. Purpose, intention, and personal agency are dismissed as illusions. Third, physicalist ontology. Only matter and energy exist. Minds, souls, abstract objects, and transcendent moral laws are ruled out from the start. These commitments exact a high price. If every human action is fully determined by prior physical states, then libertarian free will disappears. Choices become no freer than the path of a falling stone. With genuine agency removed, moral responsibility loses coherence. Praise and blame no longer make sense if we are merely biological mechanisms. Consciousness presents an even sharper difficulty. The hard problem remains: how does first-person awareness arise from non-conscious physical processes? Despite various theories, higher-order thought, functionalism, even panpsychism, there is still no adequate account of how the water of biological tissue becomes the wine of subjective experience. Value fares no better. Atoms, gravitational fields, and chemical reactions are value neutral. One cannot derive a genuine moral ought from a purely descriptive is. If the universe consists only of valueless processes, then objective human dignity and universal moral obligation lack any transcendent ground. The problem intensifies at the level of cosmic origins. Modern astrophysics establishes that the universe had an absolute beginning approximately 13.8 billion years ago. Naturalism is then forced to claim that the entire space-time continuum emerged uncaused from absolute nothingness, a free lunch cosmology that violates the principle that out of nothing, nothing comes. This move stands in ironic contrast to the scientific rejection of spontaneous generation. For centuries, science insisted that life arises only from antecedent life and that effects require adequate causes. Yet naturalism applies the opposite principle to the origin of the cosmos itself. Fine-tuning compounds the difficulty. The precise calibration of gravity, the cosmological constant, and the strong nuclear force appears ordered for the emergence of stars, planets, and life. Multiverse proposals merely relocate the demand for sufficient reason. Why does any multiverse exist, and why does it possess the properties needed to generate life-permitting universes? Beyond these ontological gaps lies a deeper self-defeat. If naturalism is true, our cognitive faculties are the product of unguided evolutionary forces aimed solely at survival, not at metaphysical truth. A belief is selected because it promotes adaptive behavior, whether or not it corresponds to reality. Consequently, the reliability of those same faculties for judging the truth of naturalism itself is called into question. By contrast, a Christian theism shaped by the promised plan of God supplies the sufficient reason naturalism lacks. Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 declares, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." The Hebrew verb bara signals an absolute production that requires no pre-existing material. Creation occurs through the spoken word, and God said, establishing that rational personal communication, not blind matter, is the foundational reality. This creative act inaugurates the single, unified, progressively unfolding purpose that Walter Kaiser identifies as the promise plan of God. From the inauguration of sacred space through the covenants with Abraham, Israel, and David, to its climactic fulfillment in the incarnate Son and the eschatological restoration of all things. The universe is inherently teleological because it is structured by an intelligent will. Colossians chapter 1, verses 16 and 17 affirms that by him all things were created, and in him all things hold together. The Greek verb synisteken denotes ongoing dynamic preservation. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 3 echoes this. He upholds the universe by the word of his power. Natural laws are not autonomous forces. They are the faithful, consistent providence of God within the trajectory of the promise plan. This framework grounds consciousness in the self-aware relational creator whose image humanity bears. It grounds libertarian freedom and moral responsibility in genuine covenantal response to the divine word. It grounds objective moral values in the unchanging character of the holy God. Romans chapter 1, verses 19 and 20 declare that what can be known about God is plain because God has shown it. His eternal power and divine nature have been clearly perceived in the things that have been made. Human cognitive faculties are designed for truth, not merely for survival. The promise plan honors both the concrete, future-oriented promises originally given to ethnic Israel and their organic fulfillment in the one people of God, as Romans chapter 11, verses 17 through 29 makes clear. There is no artificial discontinuity or supersession. In the end, the nominal simplicity of naturalism produces a significant explanatory deficit. It repeatedly defaults to brute facts. By contrast, theism understood through the promise plan of God accounts for the full range of observed phenomena, from cosmic origin to consciousness, freedom, and moral value, within a single coherent redemptive trajectory. As C.S. Lewis observed, I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else.